This is a Clearview podcast.
Welcome to this week's episode of Carpe Manana, the show where we talk about how to capture tomorrow today. We've got a full episode planned for you guys, so let's go ahead and go around the circle and introduce ourselves so you know who your hosts are.
I'm Dr. Abaddon Shaw.
I'm Kelsey McKeel.
I'm Rebecca Shaw.
I'm John Galantis.
I'm David Williamson.
And I am Ryan Hill, and we're excited about today's episode, guys. Let's go ahead and dive into our first segment, Clock the Socks. Are you guys ready?
I'm so
Did you
ready.
come
I've been
prepared with
waiting.
good socks today?
Yes.
Kelsey is the reigning champ from last
Reigning
week.
champ.
I can't say that I agree with the judge's decision there.
Yeah.
It was a great decision.
Yeah, I feel
don't
like
know what you're talking about.
I feel like there's
I was the
bribery going
judge.
on.
That's right.
Yeah.
Rebecca made a great choice, and my feet were warm, so it was a win-win.
What you know about this pizza, boy? What camera remote? Yeah. What you know about that pizza?
Pizza socks.
Pizza socks.
Do y'all love pizza?
It's okay.
That's a
There you
little-
go.
Good.
Depends on where you get it from.
That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
That's pretty
that's
What
cool.
kind of pizza is that?
This is Pino's.
Pino's does
Pino's
have
is
good
good.
pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Pizza Hut, but if that was only be if Pastor Shaw's
Could be
judging.
big cheese.
Yeah, it could be
Yeah,
big
it could be
cheese.
Big cheese. Big cheese.
Could be.
Yeah. All right, those are-
Domino's.
Domino's? Oh yeah, Domino's with that nice garlic butter crust. That's what I got.
Could
So
be.
we pretty much endorse everybody.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
If you
Anybody
make
who
pizza,
wants
we
to
Papa
endorse
sponsor
you.
us,
Papa
no?
John's.
Yeah.
We don't want to forget Papa John's.
What you
right.
what you boys got?
George's.
Should we do ours at the same time?
Do yours and then I'll do mine.
Okay. Well, I didn't actually give too much thought to it, but I threw on some Grand Canyon socks today. They're just layered, very.
Layers of earth.
And
Yes.
speaking of layers of socks, we both have our Grand Canyon socks on.
Is it the same? Is it the exact same pair?
winning.
It's
Yeah.
the exact
Hold it up,
same
Ryan. Hold it
pair.
up. You
Hold
can't
it
see
up
it.
here.
Cute. That's
Is that good
awesome.
right there?
Your
No,
shoes.
cuh.
I can't see.
Did y'all plan
Is that right?
No.
No,
I
turn
can't
your
see.
leg.
Not planned
There
at
There you
all.
go.
Oh my
Not
gosh.
planned. Same pair of socks.
Yep.
Yay.
Nice.
Same pair of socks today.
Okay.
Hold
So
on, you guys aren't sharing the same pair of socks, right? Just give each
No,
other
no, no,
like.
I don't know how
I mean,
you could share
I
the
don't
trophy.
no, we're
I don't
not
think-
doing that.
What'd you do if they just picked
I've
Ryan?
secretly
Ryan,
been swapping them
Ryan
back
wins.
and forth.
Saying.
I don't think I could wear
You have a
Bigfoot
sock
socks.
on your other foot.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Same,
All right.
same sock.
They were trying
Yes,
to trick
Just
us.
one
Race.
pair of socks split between the two
One
of
of
us.
them didn't
Dr.
plan.
Shaw.
All right.
Let me see your socks.
Uh,
See what you got.
Not much of anything, since I was wearing a black shirt, and I don't
Hold
know
up
if I
your
really.
sock.
Huh?
Hold up your
Let's see.
sock.
Yeah, these
You'll go
are
see.
just like dead flowers.
Hold them up a little bit.
Oh, I thought
Yeah.
they were snowflakes.
I thought they were
they're just-
snowflakes
Flowers.
too.
It's
Oh, I
like the
see.
play.
That was
Black
it
and
reminds me of
white
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
cool.
wonderful
retro.
life.
That's
It's
pretty.
wonderful life
So-
socks. That's what it is.
I guess so.
Zuzu's
Nice.
petals. I like it.
Yeah.
Zuzu's petals.
Yeah, Zuzu's petals.
It's a little
Well, hers-
more. It's a little bit morbid. It's
Yeah,
okay.
it's okay.
It's fine.
So I thought maybe
I like it.
I don't know why I went for all black look today. Like
It's
all
sleek,
black
though.
Classy.
shoes, black shirt, I thought black socks.
Yeah.
But I forgot about the
The
Like the
podcast.
sock,
I,
yeah.
I had socks. I had Sonic the Hedgehog socks. I was pulling them on. I was like, we are filming a podcast today. These will not win. So I literally took them off. And I was like,
correct.
I was like,
Correct.
the girls like pizza. Rebecca likes
among
pizza.
among all these. Yeah, I would say the pizza.
Yeah.
gets it.
What do you think, Rebecca? You love pizza.
I do, but at the same time, I like to see camaraderie,
Uh huh.
and I feel like
Teamwork.
They can't
you
share
know
the
we
trophy.
we
Yes, we
do go away and we do our staff retreats where we spend a lot of time together,
That doesn't
and
mean they can share the
we
trophy.
we do a Bible study together, and we do a lot of planning for the year, and
Therefore, they
so
can
I
share the
think
trophy.
that
Can they have a fight?
those
Fight to
two
the death.
Right. I want to
those
tug of
two
war.
wearing the same socks as a
It's honestly sad.
symbol of what our staff retreats are.
And honestly, I had all of those thoughts as I was putting my socks
Yeah.
on
You
this
know what?
morning.
I
They-
believe
I
that.
did.
So
Hold each
I
other.
think they should win together.
I think they should play tug of war.
This
with
is a
each other,
joke.
personally.
I'm not going to congratulate them.
I think they have to hold it together the
whole
entire
time.
podcast.
Oh,
I like that.
Just
All right.
hold it together.
All right,
Here you
David,
go.
you want to grab
I'm
your
not-
trophy?
I'm
I'm
not
done
touching it.
passing.
I reckon
I'm
this is a-
done
I'm not
passing the
touching
trophy
that
off
sock.
to people who
Hold
don't.
it
There
together.
it is.
Hold it together. There you go.
That's
Oh my
the.
goodness.
This segment is
Hold it
becoming.
aloft.
I put my foot in that.
Wait a minute. I thought you said that was a fresh one.
It was. I got it out of the drawer.
All
All
right.
right. Congratulations to David
sit
and Ryan,
between us
the
Yay.
winners
Yay.
of the.
So cute.
This is your
Put it
second
behind you.
win,
Hold it up.
Dave.
Hold it
This is
up
my
behind
second-
you. Put it on the
it's
couch.
Dave's second one.
Yeah.
On the couch.
It's
On the
gonna
back of
fall
the
if you
couch.
put it on
Oh,
the
it'll
couch.
He'll fall if he says back there.
Yeah. There you go. Nice.
There he is.
Okay, shoot.
All right.
That works
Cool.
for me.
Love it.
Sounds good.
John, you have some fan mail for us today?
I do. I was reading this one. This one was kind of long, but I wanted to read it because it made me feel pretty good. Finally, I got some validation. This is actually someone that we know. This is from Mike S. Kelsey, what do you think? What do you think the S stands for?
You know what? I'm feeling inspired by your pizza.
Uh-huh.
I'm going with Mike Stromboli.
Spider-Man.
Yeah,
No?
Mike Spider-Man or Mike Stromboli.
Stromboli?
I like
Okay,
it.
Stromboli.
Yeah.
Stromboli.
I like how the pizza was enough to inspire
It's
you.
enough to inspire a name,
but not enough for
not
the
enough
trophy.
for a
Got
trophy.
you. Okay.
We'll go with that.
This is
We'll
from
go
Mike
with that.
S. Good morning, guys. So I finished listening to the first podcast of season 2. Confession: I have not listened to any of the podcasts yet. Mike, what's gotten into you?
Wow.
Come on, Mike.
I just haven't been a podcast guy. It just wasn't my thing. But over the past few months of driving an hour and a half to work and back 2 days every other week, I've had some time to fill. Anyways, I've enjoyed the podcast this morning and will probably go back and listen to others. 2 things. To John's advice about the cold shower. I know his take on it was that it's just refreshing and rejuvenating. However, I have seen multiple sources say that it's a good practice to help you discipline your mind to preserve through discomfort. When you can train your mind to withstand the physical
Exactly.
discomfort of the cold water, it conditions you to be able to push through other discomforts of life instead of stopping when it gets uncomfortable. So there actually is a method to that madness. I don't care about
So
none of that. Like, I mean,
merit
that
to
is
the cold
great.
shower argument.
That's all cool. I just think it feels good on the back of your head. That's all it is. And I
Even
I've
in the
been
cold
getting-
weather?
Yeah.
Yeah. After a
Even
hot
in
shower.
like it's 30 degrees outside.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I don't do it after every.
I do.
Well, I do
I
it
do
after
it.
a lot of showers.
I
but-
feel like that would give me a headache. Just
No.
that cold on my head.
Because you don't just let it sit on your head the whole time. You move around.
Oh, good.
also-
now you're numb everywhere.
Yeah.
Great.
People have really latched on to the cold showers thing. I'm getting like comments at the grocery store, bricks through the window of my house.
Aren't you the cold
gosh.
shower guy?
No, that's not me. Please, they're like interrupting me at dinner.
Stay away from my family.
They're like dumping cold water on me out at restaurants. It's
You're like
crazy.
that cold shower.
You're like Spider-Man in the beginning of his movie.
Yeah,
It's like
I mean-
everybody's looking for you.
It's like
no.
it's like Spider-Man 2 where everything just goes wrong. A waitress just slaps me across the face.
Well,
Oh,
Mike, thank you
mercy.
so much for that.
Absolutely. Thank you,
email.
Mike.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you,
Mike
for-
Stromboli.
Mike Stromboli.
Hey, keep writing in because
Please.
we love to hear from you guys, and we often hear from people in passing. Like today, we heard
Yeah,
today.
yeah.
While we were working out, a gentleman stopped and said, "Hey, listen, that episode was amazing about this and this and this."
Nice.
And I never thought of that way. What he was talking about was our episode. We talked about counseling and all that. So that
Yeah.
was great.
Yeah, that was really cool.
But email, send them us
Absolutely.
as an email.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So we appreciate
We'd love
that.
to have stuff
Love
to
it.
read.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right, you guys want to jump into our main topic?
Yes.
Let's do it.
And for today's main topic, we're talking about the difference between the problems of life and the facts of life. And that's something, we've been discussing as a team. What's the difference between those things? How should we think about them? How should we respond to them? And that's something that we encountered, even this past weekend, as we celebrated, of course. Congratulations, Dr. Shaw. Celebrated
Yay.
the wedding the marriage of Abby and Jarrett.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. And it was an exciting event, wonderful. I mean, it was a wonderful day. But leading up to that day, we were so worried that everything would be, shut down. It just would be with the snow and ice that they were, prognosticating that it would be a bad day. So, we had to deal with some facts of life and then, knew that that's what it is. So, but it was an exciting day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
For
was-
those of you listeners who may not know, Abigail is Dr. Shaw's youngest daughter, and she got married this past Friday.
That's right.
That was
Yeah.
awesome.
That's
Wow.
right.
So much
We were
fun.
all-
It
That
was
was
such
a
a
really
fun,
fun
such
day.
a fun day, and even the days leading up to that, just kind of seeing them interact and get excited about the big day, and just kind of all of us being there, being a part of it was so special.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
That was one of those things where it was like people started to freak out because everybody was like, well, I had people calling me talking about, are they going to cancel the wedding? And I was like,
Yeah,
what do you?
yeah, because they were calling for snow.
They were calling for
They
they were calling for
like
snow.
6
They were
inches
calling,
at the time.
Yeah.
when it first
Yeah.
started talking about
But
it.
we live. It's like we live in North Carolina, and this always happens where we call for about 6 inches of snow, and we get like
dusting.
maybe half or like a
Yeah.
little thing of dust will roll through.
Right.
Yeah.
But I had people calling me, and they were like, "What? I don't want to ask them, but what are they gonna do?" And I was like, "Listen, we're gonna
Still
they're gonna
going
get
strong.
married.
Yeah.
It's still
What
gonna
do you mean?
happen.
Yeah.
Even if everything shuts down, I am an ordained minister, and they have the license, and we have witnesses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can do this like right now.
Yeah.
So that was not an issue. That was not worried about. But of course, we were worried about all this planning that went into making this day possible.
Yeah.
Right.
With the decorations, with the caterer, with the photographer, videographer, all these other things that were in place, and just to make it a memorable day.
Yeah.
We didn't want that to be gone because of this weather issue.
Well, I think you saying that was helpful to them because after you were like, listen, you're gonna get married no matter what. Like,
Right.
regardless of what happens, regardless of what the forecast actually does,
Right.
You're gonna end up married. I think that enabled them to kind of like, okay, all right, we
Yeah.
can work through the details.
And also, I didn't have to convince them of that truth.
Right.
Sometimes you have people who are like so been out of shape over something they cannot control. But with Abigail and Jared, I mean, even before I told them, hey guys, don't worry about this, they were not worried about it.
Right.
So that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So with that, then how do you differentiate? This is a fact of life that I can't control versus this is a problem that I can face.
What's the difference between those?
Yeah, I mean, think about it for a moment. I can't control the snow. I can't control the weather. I couldn't control the ice that was, repeatedly discussed on
Yeah.
every news channel, local news channel, and everybody's talking about this. The weather front is coming, and it's going to begin at this time of the night, or it's going to begin in the morning, or it's starting right in the afternoon, or it's going to be while you're in the way. I mean, I knew, there's no way we can deal with this. So that is a fact of life.
Yeah.
Now that's just the wedding, but there are other facts of life. I mean, I just talked to a friend of mine. He has lesions on his on his head and things like that, and so going through a tough time. Facts of life. And he said, and I said the same thing. It's not a whole lot you can do about that.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Now we can pray about it. We can ask God's healing upon it. But other than that, we just have to keep living life.
I think as far as like we go and organizations, people listening to this, there's always something when problems come up that you could have, or at least I think of it like I could have done this better.
Right.
I could have been a better leader. So even if it's something that seems like it's out of your control, like people are acting up or people aren't managed properly, there's always it could be a write-off to be like, I couldn't control people. I can't control how they do. But you could always be a better leader in that case where you could have managed people better. You could have made a connection with people better. You could have done something to prevent this problem. But it's kind of like with the weather, with sickness, like how good of a leader could I possibly be to make it not snow or to keep someone from getting sick?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the basic bottom line difference between facts and problems. Facts are beyond our control. Problems you can still manage. You can still, find a way to navigate through them.
So, I don't know if this is the right question. This might not be the right question, but can you ever influence the facts of life? Because I know with like weather, we can't really do anything. We can't throw anything into the air and make it not rain. But like,
You can make plans though. You
Yeah,
can make plans accordingly. And
I'm wondering, is there anything you can do to control or even have any, I guess, minuscule amount of control over facts?
Yeah, I mean, just physically speaking, you could probably have a contingency plan, things like that. You can do those. You can find the best doctor possible to prescribe the best medicine or the best procedure, so we can get to the heart of this problem soon and get cracking on it. So that's the best you can do.
Yeah.
But most you can do with the facts of life is actually pray. And a lot of people were praying for Abigail's wedding day. I mean, people all over were praying. And I truly believe there was an answer to prayer, that everything was done at the reception. And when people finally were leaving, all the people were leaving is when snow began to fall.
It was
Yeah.
the perfect time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
It was really perfect because you even it was just enough time to like get some pretty snowfall pictures as well before the road got bad.
Before
you know?
Right, exactly. So even that was an answer to prayers.
Yeah. It was crazy because it was like what we prayed for God to get rid of or just don't let it happen at all. He actually worked out in a way that it was together for Romans says that he worked all things together for good.
Yeah.
Like the snow actually in a way became a blessing, because some of the pictures that I saw with like the light snowfall in Abby's like dark hair, like they wouldn't have gotten those shots if it hadn't had snowed.
Oh yeah. It was more than just wedding photos. It was like once in a million opportunity.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Yeah.
Same thing with this friend of mine. It's hey, you're going through this problem, but just know that God's going to work all things together for good, and his life, his heart, his priorities are now in order. And again, this is not a situation with something that is fatal or nothing that is malignant or anything like that, but it's just still is a very concerning and fearful situation for him. But and after our conversation, it's like, maybe God is getting my attention.
Yeah.
Maybe God is working in my life. These are areas in my life that were sort of weak, but now all of a sudden I'm awake.
Yeah.
Wow.
So how do you make this argument with like married couples or couples in general? Like, what should they not fight about? What is worth fighting about? Like, as far as like, this is a fact of life, this is something we can't help, or this is something we need to work on because we can help it. Like, where do you draw the line with
Definitely.
that?
One of the facts of life are people in your marriage. Marriage is not just about two people. There are other people that come into the mix.
Right.
So fact of life is, those people are there. Family and friends sometimes are wonderful. What a great support system. Other times they will do and say things that are like, I don't know why this person does what they do.
Right.
And so in those situations, that's a fact of life. Just be prepared. This person is going to say or do something. It's a fact of life. But you can also navigate around that and find a ways to know how to walk away, have a plan of saying, we're not going to let this person spoil what's happening here. And if this person starts, we know what to do. We can kind of move on, go do something else. That's part of dealing with the facts. We can pray for that person. Pray that God will, open their eyes to see what they're doing is not right. But that's the most.
I think that's a good. Go for it.
Problems is a little more where or different, I would say, is when you can control it. You can control your mouth. You can control your response. You can control how much does it spoil your day.
Yeah.
Right?
I was going to say, I think that's a good distinction to make, is that we're not saying that the facts of life are something you just have to swallow. Just because you can't control it or stop it from happening doesn't mean it's like, okay, I have to accept it the way it is, and I can do nothing. I'm powerless against it. Facts of life, you can still navigate them.
Yeah.
You can still plan accordingly, kind of like you were saying. It's not a thing where like the facts of life just are what they are, and that means you swallow it how it is.
Right.
Yeah.
The reason we're even discussing this, facts versus problem, the reason we're discussing is because people get so stressed out over the facts of life.
Yeah.
And it pretty much spoils their day. It completely disheartens them and leaves them feeling hopeless. That's the purpose of this discussion.
Yeah.
The purpose is not to say facts, it is what it is. Problems, you can fix that. No, that's not it. The real purpose behind it is, don't let the facts of life spoil your day.
Yeah.
And keep you from achieving what you need to achieve.
When I even think about that, I think back to like a biblical example. I think of Joseph, and
Right.
like his facts of life were, my brothers, they hate me.
Right.
They are gonna sell me to slavery in Egypt.
And now
then-
I'm in Egypt. I'm a foreigner in Egypt.
Now I'm here. Oh, what's another fact of life? This lady wanted me, but I was like, I can't do that, and now I'm in
falsely
prison.
accused me, and I'm in prison. Yeah,
So-
it is what it is.
But it seems like even though those are the facts of life for him, he still navigated them. He still prays. He still finds ways through the Holy Spirit, or if that's what they called it back in the Old Testament. I don't really know what they
through God's
would have said
help.
that.
Yeah.
He navigated his way back up
And kept on climbing.
Yeah.
Whether he was in Potiphar's house or he was in the prison or anything else, he kept being excellent
Right.
in his work.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the problems he could fix.
Yeah.
The problems of his life. I mean, he took care of them. When he was falsely accused, he ran.
Mm-hmm.
He ran out. He did not stand there. He ran out. when he was in the prison and the guy forgot him. He could have become hopeless and bitter and angry. He just navigated through that and still did what he needed to do.
Yeah.
And God used him.
Yeah, it's kind of funny to think too. One of the problems in his life was his relationship with his brothers, and even still in that, even though he kind of gave him the runaround and was like, "Hey, I want you to see how it feels." At the end, he was like, "I forgive you, and I'm not gonna kill you."
Yeah. Yeah, he even goes so far as to say this thing that you intended for evil, God used it for good so that many people would be saved. So even though this was a bad thing, God had a bigger purpose.
Yeah. And it really takes on new meaning and deeper significance when you have certain physical, situations or issues where this is your limits. These are certain limitations you have because just health-wise, there are certain people who are born with special needs. Okay, it's a fact of life. We can find a way to adjust, adapt, and move on. So hopefully this broadcast will help you not to lose heart, right? Mm-hmm. This discussion may help you to accept it, but still find ways around it, like a lot of people have done through the history of this world.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who were given, so to speak, a bad hand, but they did not lose heart, did not lose hope, did not spend their lives blaming or wishing for a better life. They accepted it, refused to be bitter, found ways to adjust, adapt, and moved forward.
Yeah.
Yep.
If we have some people listening today who realize because of this episode that they've been frustrated by the facts of life, the things that they can't control have been throwing off their day or have been kind of ruining their plans, and they're like, what are some practical steps I can take to avoid that in the future, to navigate them without being thrown off by them?
I would say number one, don't play the victim. That is one thing that will further put the nail in the coffin for you.
Yeah.
With regards to your life, your future, your vision, your goals, is to play the victim.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is my life. You don't know what I have to. If you only knew what I've been through. If you only knew someday I'll let you. People do that, and I always want to hear their story, but at the same time, I'm thinking, your story time will be time for you to shed light on your situation, but really it's a time for me to feel sorry for you.
Right, right. Because that's as far as it goes. I don't really care about improving my life in any way. Your sympathy is all I need.
Right.
And maybe somehow in some weird way I have to admire it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, also when you're in that victim mindset, you're not in control of your life at all.
That's true.
It's everybody else and everything that happens to me is what's in control of me.
Mm-hmm.
I think it just is very telling how people react to the facts of life, especially like in our field, like in churches, especially. One of the things that we always, we talked about, the snow and the ice, and that's something that you always see is people are either so quick to react and give up quickly, especially here in the South where snow and ice is very unpredictable.
Yeah,
right. I've definitely seen where it's coming in and it's like, hey guys, this weekend it's coming in hot, and churches everywhere shut down, and then Sunday morning there's nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
You reacted and you shot your own self in the foot because you gave up so quickly because there wasn't even a chance. Like, no, you can't control the snow, but you're not even willing to look or to try at all. Or kind of like you said, they just let it stress them out. They never work with it at all. They just sit there and fret and fret and fret and deliberate, and
that's right.
Nothing ever happens.
Of course, it's too hard to wake up at 5 and see what the snow looks like. I couldn't fathom that.
Yeah.
And then begin our discussion. Like, we had to do it.
Yeah.
A couple of Sundays ago when the snow was coming, we were on the phone at 5:30 with each other. Hey, how does it look over there? How does it look? And then we contacted certain people who are in positions where they have to be out there. Okay, out there, watching the roads, power lines, gas companies, on and on. So we were connected to them.
Right.
Say, please tell us what's happening. And then we made the hard call, which was, hey, we're going to cancel.
Yeah.
We're going to not have the services.
Yeah. But imagine if we had done that Tuesday when they were calling for it, and then Sunday, nothing.
Or if we had made that and then ice and snow came and all that stuff was bad, but then by the weekend everything had been cleared, everything was fine. There was still stuff around, but the roads were safe again.
Yeah.
So
It's just really telling, I think, how people react.
Yeah.
You know, I think that shows you either how prepared you are for dealing with facts of life that you can't control, or how unprepared you are.
Right.
Yeah.
Hopefully this segment was helpful to you guys. If you have questions about the difference between the problems of life versus the facts of life, send us an email to carpemignon@clearviewbc.org. We'd love hearing from you. Love knowing how you navigate the problems of life versus the facts of life, and how you're taking a step in the right direction moving forward. You guys ready to move on to our last segment?
Let's do it.
All right.
Guys, this week we have the Grapevine as our last
Yay,
segment
the
of our
Grapevine.
podcast.
I love
The Grapevine. I'm so
I
excited.
thought it was a grapevine.
The great
Grapevine.
Yeah,
Grape.
It's the grapevine if we're talking about something we like. It's the
The
grapevine.
grapevine is,
Yeah.
is the fruit that we do not like.
I think it's
GRIPE.
Yes,
Yeah,
G-R-I-P-E.
All right.
And I think
Grapevine.
it's
This is
I think
new.
it's
Grapevine.
great that Rebecca is leading the grapevine
Yes.
this week, since you named it.
Yes, the queen of the
You came
grapevine
up with it.
herself,
Okay.
Yes.
Rebecca Shaw.
Right.
Rebecca, what are we griping about on the grapevine today?
Okay, so I saw this TikTok and it just made me really laugh. So this guy opens this card and he opens it and this big wad of cash
I like that.
falls out, just slides right out of
Nice.
the
We
card,
love
goes
to get
all
money.
over the table.
Oh no.
And he ignores it and just reads the card and pretends like he didn't see it. And then, like, down the table from him, his grandma's like, I know you saw that cash. And because he's just thanking his grandma for the card,
Right.
not the cash.
Yeah.
My gripe is, why are we doing so awkward about getting money in a card? I feel like a lot of people are doing money in cards nowadays because, first of all, it's easier to carry. Second of all, I mean, if I'm going to give someone a gift for their wedding or a gift for their birthday, and I don't know 100%, or if they already have it or if they even want it, I'm going to give them cash or a check and a card.
But you don't want them to act like they're just thanking you for the card.
It's like, why have to be awkward? Just be like, thank you for the.
It is weird because it's like I understand exactly what you're saying. On the other hand, I also have gotten money before, and it's one thing to be like, if you like Kelsey, you gave me a mug for Christmas. I'm like, hey, thank you for the mug, and you give me like a book. I'm like, thank you for the book. And if Dr. Shaw gives me money for me, like, thank you for the money. Like, it's just odd. It's
Why
odd.
can't
So-
you? Why
why
can't
though?
I don't
why can't
know.
you say, thank you for the sweet gift?
So
Yeah, I think
in
it's great.
my head, this is what I do. I open the card, I put the money aside, I read the card, and then I thank them for money and the card.
That's
But-
what I do.
No,
Let me see,
I
let
do
me
the
see your
same thing.
notebook.
People typically don't do that.
No.
though.
No, I
don't-
hide the fact that there's even money
Yep.
in it.
I don't want it to be like
don't know
this.
why.
Oh, there's money? Thanks. Thanks for the money.
I mean,
Now, if I'm by myself, that's
I
what
don't
I'll do. Yeah, just toss the
I don't care about this card.
Look, money.
Now, what makes a difference is if it is a handwritten card
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
sentiments are coming from their hearts versus
Best
some-
wishes
some
from so and so.
guy somewhere
Yeah,
in a
some
basement
Hallmark.
yeah.
wrote these cards, and
Yeah.
See, I appreciate the handwritten cards. I think they're so sweet.
yes, they are.
If you're not gonna write something heartfelt, just put your name.
Yeah.
Sorry,
At least.
just put
At
your
least,
name.
yeah.
At least
Yeah.
put your name. You know, I want to know at least who it's from.
Yeah.
It is funny. Sometimes there's cards that I get and it's literally just what the card says, and they sign their name at the bottom. I'm like, all right,
Okay.
Like,
That's
it's
what they
just
write.
that works.
like a seal of
This
approval.
card
Like,
says
I
it
approve this
all.
message.
Yeah.
It's
I do understand what you're saying, Rebecca, because if you're looking at the gift, like thanking somebody for a gift, there's money behind that gift. Like they had to either buy that gift or they had to commission that gift to be made, depending on what it is. So you're getting a monetary total. It's just the form that the money is in.
Even a
Why do we
gift
feel
card,
awkward
people
when
would
it's-
say thank you
when
for
it's
the gift
cash?
card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
Why
we
is
feel
it
awkward
weird
when
if it's cash?
I don't know.
it is. It just is.
I've
It's
felt
so
it
weird.
before.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, if you gave me an Apple gift card, I'd be
Yeah.
like, thank you for the Apple gift card.
Right. But if I gave you money,
It's like,
You have to read it.
I don't
See
know.
that there's money in it. Keep it
Pretend
from
there's
falling
not
out.
money.
Look, he messed up because he let it fall out. all
he just
over
like let
the
it
table.
fall all out.
No,
and he was
you
like,
open it flat.
how
Look,
nice.
oh, there's money.
If you
Okay.
close
It has-
the card, acted
Pretend
like the money
play like
wasn't
you're
there.
reading it, and then Thank you, Mima.
you.
I love
Thank
that.
you, Mima.
Do you think it has anything to do with other people that are around beyond
think
the
it
two people
does.
exchanging
Maybe.
gifts?
I think it does, because if I'm like in a group setting and I'm opening gifts from everybody, like for a birthday or whatever, and you're opening gifts from everybody, I feel more weird thanking somebody for money with other people staring at me. I don't
Yeah,
know
because
why.
they're all like, I didn't get no money.
yeah.
Where's my money, Mima?
Well, I guess like if I give you a gift, you don't really know how much that cost.
Yeah.
You can
That's true.
guess.
That's true.
That's
You
true.
can guess,
Yeah.
but it depends on where I got it from. If I got it on a discount, you don't know.
Yeah.
But if I give you money, you know exactly how
It's
much
like,
money
oh,
there is.
it's
It's
like,
like
oh,
me
Rebecca-
exactly $40. worth.
Rebecca like
Exactly.
took time and she picked out this gift for me, or it's like, oh, Rebecca thinks I'm worth $25.
Right.
I see.
How often do you give people cash though, as a gift?
I mean, for like weddings and stuff, I
Yeah.
just think it's easier to give them money because
Yeah, weddings,
use it on the
graduation gifts.
honeymoon, use it for
My problem
Whatever
with
they need.
money gifts is a little different.
Uh-huh.
It's about them looking at me thinking I'm greedy.
Yeah.
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 So when I
Okay.
open up the card and there's money there, I pretend like, oh, that's so kind, but I'm really counting the money.
Yeah.
Is it, what's behind that 20? Is that
Yeah, that better be a
is that
50
20
behind
or
there.
are we down to a 5? Come on.
Which presidents
oh.
do we have in here?
Yeah.
Let me see.
I'm like that. I get real nervous. Like interacting.
That's
Honestly,
why I'm bringing this up.
I'll be
I'm
honest.
just kidding.
I don't even open the cards.
I prefer to not
I
open
slip
cards,
the. They'll hand me a card. I'm like, hey, thank you so much. Give them a hug. Slip the card in your pocket.
Let Ellie open it.
Let Ellie open it later.
Now, how about the cards that don't have money in it?
Instantly in the trash.
Oh,
No, I'm just
okay.
jo-
We got it.
You guys
I'm
heard it
joking,
first.
gang. I'm joking.
No, that's not true.
That's not true. Ellie puts them up on the mantelpiece for
Yeah.
about maybe 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's, again, kind of, it's just a little revealing too, you know,
Yeah.
because you open it up thinking, oh, there's nothing falling out.
No, okay. Now I'll tell you this: if it's
nice.
from someone in my family, that's a discussion. Like if Mima's giving me a card and there ain't no money in it, I'm gonna start questioning. Like, hey, what's
What's going on here?
going on,
We
Mima?
good?
Did I hurt your feelings?
Everything
Because
all
I saw Caitlin got some money. My sister got some money. What's going on? Nah, I'm
There's a
just.
discrepancy there amongst siblings.
I'm joking.
Funny.
I'm joking.
Funny.
No.
If that's your gripe, guys, let us know by sending us an email. How do you feel about money in cards? How do you feel about people receiving your gifts in cards? Should they react? Should they not? We want to hear from you guys. Send us an email to carpemanana@clearviewbc.org. Maybe we'll read it on the next fan mail segment. Or if you have an idea for a future Gripevine segment, send us that in an email as well. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much for joining us today, guys. I love this episode. Hopefully you guys got a lot from it. A big shout out to Nicholas for making us look and
Nicholas
sound
on the
good.
video switcher, my friend.
Thank
Good work,
you, buddy.
bud.
Appreciate
Good work.
you. Send Nicholas an email to Carpe Manana. You don't have to just send us. Send Nick an email. Nick needs an email.
Nick, do you want a mic, bud? Do you want a mic for the?
Yes.
How about
for
next?
Nicholas.
Mike Nick.
Mike,
Nick.
hashtag
Mike
Mike
Nick.
Nick.
Hashtag
Mike
Mike Nick. Yes.
Let's
Trending
get
on
it
social
trending.
media.
love
Send
it.
us an email requesting a microphone for Nicholas. and we'll see
Hashtag
what we
Mike
can do.
Nick.
Hashtag Mike
about
Nick.
that.
Hashtag Mike Nick.
Also, I know we're trying to wrap up and we're trying to close, but I did want to say, just so that nobody ats me, this is the same shirt that I've worn all 4 podcasts.
I'd
so
have kept
far.
that to myself, honestly. I would have kept that
That's
to
Has it been
myself.
washed?
It has been washed in between.
All right.
I will say, this is now going to be the podcast shirt.
Do you
so if you're
own
watching,
another shirt, or
You're not gonna do a
Yes,
Doug
it?
Funny where you wear the same
This is
green
gonna be the
shirt
same
for
The
shirt.
end.
for every
That's the
podcast.
only
Yeah.
podcast shirt.
That's
So if
How
anybody's
long are you
watching
gonna
now
go?
in
How long are you
episode
gonna go?
5 or wherever we're at, I'm gonna just keep going
This is 104.
until this is 104.
This is episode
I
104.
mean, of the new season.
Episode 4 of the new season.
Until I have like holes in the shirt, I'm probably
So
just gonna
this
wear
is
it.
the podcast shirt.
This is the podcast
This is
shirt.
it.
Are those
It
the
is
podcast
established.
pants?
No, I don't care about the pants or the shoes. This is the shirt.
The
though.
shirt specifically.
Whereas I do the opposite. I try to meticulously think, what did I wear last week?
And I
Make
go
sure
back
I
and
don't
watch
wear that
last week's
shirt
episode. I'm
again.
like,
At
okay,
least
can't
not
wear that.
tomorrow.
Hashtag
Yeah.
Doug
Yeah.
Funny. It's just gonna be the the same green shirt forever. All
So
right,
it has
shoot.
what was it? Hashtag Mike Nick
Hashtag Mike Nick.
and hashtag Doug Funny.
Doug Funny. All right, sounds good.
Get us trending on social media. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time on Carpe Manana.